In the year 1987, a cargo ship known as the Black Horizon departed from Boston Harbor on what should have been a routine journey across the Atlantic Ocean. The ship carried valuable machinery worth millions of dollars and a crew of 23 experienced sailors. The weather forecast was perfect. The sea was calm, and nothing seemed out of the ordinary. But 3 days into the voyage, something strange happened. At exactly 2:14 in the morning, the ship's radio operator received a distress signal. The message was weak and filled with static. But one sentence came through clearly: "Turn back before it's too late." The operator assumed it was a prank. Ships occasionally picked up strange transmissions at sea. The captain laughed it off and ordered the journey to continue. No one knew that decision would change everything. The following night, thick fog rolled across the ocean. It appeared out of nowhere. Visibility dropped to almost zero. Crew members standing on deck could barely see a few feet ahead of them. Then the lookout spotted something impossible. A ship, an enormous ship, silent, motionless, floating inside the fog. The captain immediately ordered a course correction to avoid a collision. But as the Black Horizon passed nearby, the crew noticed something terrifying. The mysterious vessel looked ancient. Its paint had peeled away decades ago. The windows were shattered, and yet it seemed untouched by time. No lights, no movement, no crew, just darkness. As they drifted past, several sailors reported seeing human figures standing along the railings, watching, not moving, just staring. When a spotlight was aimed at them, the figures disappeared instantly. The captain ordered everyone back to work and tried to maintain calm. But panic was spreading through the crew. That night, strange sounds echoed throughout the ship. Footsteps, whispers, doors opening and closing on their own. Several sailors refused to leave their cabins. Others claimed they saw shadowy figures walking the corridors. The next morning, one crew member was missing. His room was empty. His belongings were untouched. It was as if he had vanished into thin air. A full search of the ship found nothing. No signs of a struggle. No evidence he had fallen overboard. Nothing. The captain finally decided to turn back toward Boston. But when the navigation officer checked their position, his face turned pale. According to the instruments, they were hundreds of miles from where they should have been. It was impossible. The ship had somehow drifted far off course without anyone noticing. The crew worked desperately to regain their bearings. Then, just after sunset, the fog returned. This time it was even thicker. The ocean became completely silent. No wind, no waves, nothing. And then the ancient ship appeared again, closer than before, much closer. The captain ordered maximum speed. The engines roared, but the Black Horizon barely moved. It felt as though something was holding the ship in place. The radio operator began sending distress calls, one after another, but no response ever came. Suddenly, every light on the ship went out. Darkness swallowed the vessel. For several minutes, no one could see anything. Then a bright flash of lightning illuminated the ocean. And in that instant, the crew saw hundreds of figures standing on the deck of the ghost ship, all staring directly at them. The next thing anyone remembered was waking up the following morning. The fog was gone, the sea was calm, and the mysterious vessel had vanished. Days later, the Black Horizon finally returned to Boston Harbor. The crew was shaken, but alive. However, investigators discovered something disturbing. According to official records, the ship had been missing for nearly 3 weeks. Yet every crew member believed only 6 days had passed. To this day, no one can explain where the Black Horizon went, or what the crew encountered in the fog. And somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean, many believe that ancient ship is still waiting, watching for its next visitor. What would you do if you saw that ship in the fog? Let me know in the comments.